Hi, Chuck.
Hey,
how are you
Mitch.
doing? I'm Mitch from planet5D.com with Chuck Westfall from Canon USA. We're at the NAB show 2012, and we're going to ask Chuck some of the really tough questions.
That's good to see you again, Mitch. Glad
Good to see you too.
Made it to NAB.
It's a great show. I'm having a good time. You've released a boatload of cameras in the last couple of weeks. The 5D Mark III has been out. The 1DC was announced here along with the C500. Those are all pro-level cameras. What's happening at the lower end?
Well, we're definitely working on more cameras to come out through the rest of this year, but the way that we're anticipating is that here at the NAB 2012, it's the ideal high-end pro audience to look at our high-end equipment. So we picked this show to talk about the C500 and the 1DC because it's going to be the best opportunity we can get to introduce the cameras to the target audience that is going to be using them.
Right.
And so we have a whole rest of the year to look forward to in terms of talking about product that is, lower in the hierarchy than, say, for example, the 4K.
Well, people are asking, just to be sure, that you're not abandoning the low-end part of the market, right?
It's so funny because it's always a cycle. When we had a period of time in roughly 2010-2011 timeframe where several cameras in a row were like Rebels and 60Ds, and people were freaking out. Where's my 5D? So it's just one of these things where it's a matter of timing, and that Canon, as a leader, is going to continue to develop products, and we will always be able to bring out new cameras for each part of our line, in a timely fashion.
The Nikon folks have announced several cameras as well, and they've got a couple of features that Canon didn't release in theirs, like the HDMI output recording with full clean output.
Mm-hmm.
And some people say that's I'm not going to go buy Canon this year because Nikon's got that feature. Does that change your outlook on things, or do you just decide that this is what we've got and off we go?
Well, to be honest, I think the fact of the matter is that we're picking, our product features based on the individual markets that we're catering to. So in that particular feature, the Clean HD via HDMI, we actually now have it with the EOS 1DC.
That's true.
As far as introducing it into some of the other products, we're going to look at the needs of the market and consider our strategy going forward. I can't make any promises, but this is the type of thing that we'll listen very carefully to see what the customers want and see what we can do to help.
That was a big thing that you guys talked about with the release of the C300, was that you were focusing on what the customers were after. Are you continuing to do that kind of research? You didn't talk about it with these cameras, so I just thought I'd ask.
We always are. In fact, we set up our company now with the Professional Solutions and Engineering division to help support research towards our future products. And in fact, that's part of my job, besides talking to the media, is basically working behind the scenes to work with the customers and the Canon Inc. Engineers to help develop our future product. And it's a good opportunity to bring in the requests of the market to the actual manufacturing.
Well, let me give you a little hint, though, by the way. There's a survey that we did on Planet5D where I asked a list of about 45 different features, and so people have been voting, and maybe you guys should use that as some input to your process.
Well, I'd be very happy to take a look, and I appreciate you letting me know about it. I'd also point out that people who followed us for the last 3 years may have noticed that we have done a lot of listening and responding, especially in the case of the 5D Mark II. There's probably been about 15 or 20 firmware upgrades on that camera since it came out. And some significant functionality was added. And so that's a good track record that shows that we are able to respond when people give us the instruction of what they're looking to put in.
Which is an interesting segue. There's, obviously you guys know about the Magic Lantern software that's out there. Is there anything in your thoughts or plans to maybe add some functionality where maybe users could program their own features? Jumping light years ahead. The iPhone has the ability for people to customize ad applications. Is that something that maybe down the line Canon's going to work on?
That's going to be up to the R&D folks to decide. If you're going to ask my personal opinion about it, I would say that the chances are not that great that we would want to open up the interface to the level of saying, please go ahead and develop your own apps, only because the extra load that puts on the engineering group to be able to provide support for that would end up inevitably slowing us down in terms of developing new features and new products. Canon is a big company, but we don't have unlimited resources. We have to make sure that we're making the most efficient use of the resources we do have to get products out there in a timely fashion.
Right. Are you guys still doing research in the mirrorless area?
Absolutely. We can't talk anything about specific timelines, but there's no question that the mirrorless market, finally in the year 2012, is becoming a fairly significant portion of interchangeable lens camera sales, not only in the rest of the world, but finally here in the USA as well. So we really have a golden opportunity with EOS to be able to take advantage of that and come out with an interesting product.
One thing I wanted to mention to you was that I was proud of you guys for addressing the two issues that have come up with the 5D Mark III with the software. I'm proud of you for actually putting some information out there that you're at least aware of the issue and addressing the issue, as opposed to letting it simmer and people getting really upset. Because people instantly react and say, well, this is going to be a major problem. And for you to at least say, look, we're aware of it, we're looking into it, we'll come out with a solution for you. I applaud you for doing that, and I encourage you to keep doing that.
Yeah, that's a good way for us to be able to actually demonstrate that we're able to respond quickly, because here the camera's only been out for a month and we were already able to respond to an issue on the software processing.
Right.
And that update did go online actually yesterday, it's available right now.
See, I've been so busy. Sorry about that. Didn't report it on planet5D, but it will be there. Chuck, there's one thing that I know several people have mentioned about the 5D Mark III that is an irritant, and that was the fact that the magnify button used to be on the upper right corner, and now there's a specialized button in the lower left, and so it takes another hand to do that. And I know you can program to put the set button or one of the other buttons, but could you guys please make that same button be the magnify? I mean, it's surprising that that's been one of the biggest complaints.
Well, we definitely have that request in, and that's under consideration right now for future firmware update. I can't promise you that they're going to do that, but I am glad that people are finally getting aware that they can reprogram it to the set button to help them out a little bit. Now, there's one other thing, as long as we're talking that kind of improvement, that I'd also like to let people know, and that is that we have heard the request to be able to get more red illumination on the focus points, especially when you're shooting in a dark environment.
Good.
So, the set button and the magnify button and the focus point illumination are two of the things that have been, I would say, the loudest requests. And we're going to continue to gather feedback. But our general philosophy on a lot of these cameras is to basically look at what happens for a certain period of time, and kind of gather in all the feedback so that we're not necessarily skipping something that might not have shown up within the first couple of weeks.
Right. The other issue that I think some people are a little disappointed in with the 5D Mark III is that they were sort of expecting a little bit more sharpness on the video side. Is there anything you can say about that?
Sure. Basically, our objective on all of the EOS cameras, especially with the 5D Mark III, is to upgrade the image quality all the time. And you've seen that happen already in terms of the noise being lowered. And on the video side, we were able to reduce the moire significantly. But as far as the sharpening is concerned, I think the story that we want to make sure people are aware is that by leaving that a little bit less sharp from the initial capture, we're actually preserving more detailed information in the file. And yes, it will require somebody who is a little bit more experienced with editing to go in and do their sharpening in post-processing. But once that's been done, the level of quality that comes out in the final product on the 5D Mark III is far superior in terms of sharpness to what we had off of the 5D Mark II.
That's true.
So it's just a question that we're actually raising the level of the camera in many ways, and in some cases, like this particular case, it requires the user to kind of raise their level a little bit too, in terms of how they handle the file during post.
All right, Chuck, thank you very much for helping us out here at Planet 5D.
Oh, my pleasure, Mitch, and thanks for coming to the show.